Welcome to Glitch Building in No Man's Sky, a beginner's guide. First thing you should know is I'm going to be referring to the titles of the choices in the build menu as they are seen. Nothing more, nothing less. First of all, you're going to want to build yourself a nice little platform. That's all. Get up on that platform, put yourself down a save beacon. That's all you need. Platform, save beacon. That save beacon is now your best friend. Once you have the save beacon down, you can build. Use the save beacon often. First and most fundamental part of wire glitching and wire building is the wire glitch itself. It's where you have an item, you switch to the wire with the toggle wire button, and then you press the toggle wire button again at the same time that you press the place item button. And you can do this and you can place any item anywhere you want, including items that you have limits to. As you can see, you can place as many of anything you want anywhere with this glitch. And on top of that, it requires 0 materials to wire glitch. You can even place something that you do not have the materials for, pick up that item you just placed with the wire glitch, and gain the materials that you did not have before. As you can see, you can use this glitch anywhere you want. Now that we've learned the most basic glitch in the game, we can teach you the reverse wire glitch, which is where you take an item and you toggle to the wire instead of toggling from the wire to an item. You do this by doing the exact same thing you did before, having an item in the green and then pressing the toggle wire and the place item at the same time to get a tethered wire. Now, once you have those down, you need to start learning the wire itself and the snap points of the wire, which you will be using just as much as the 2 other glitches. The little icon at the end of each wire indicates the direction of the wire and the angle that the wire is placed at. Anything snapped into that point from the wire glitch will maintain that angle perfectly no matter what. This can be easily demonstrated by doing the Tether Glitch by having an item, switching to the wire, placing one end of the wire, then switching back to the item, and you see you have it tethered in a specific direction. Learning to pull wires and manipulating the wires in a specific way to have the snap points exactly where you want is the fundamental way that people glitch build in No Man's Sky. Learn the wire, learn the directions of the icon, and you can place anything at any angle that you want over and over again as much as you want. Another very important tool to have at your disposal and learn very well is the Adjacency Glitch, where you take an item that's in the green and you press the cycle part button and the place part button at the exact same time. A fairly obsolete glitch, but it is very useful to maintain perfectly level pieces in positions that are directly centered with the lines that you're trying to build on, like I'm using here to go from a large floor piece to a small floor piece. So now I've placed the floor lights at their 4 different angles to demonstrate the 4 different ways you can utilize these lights in the 4 different ways that your wire can be positioned. First thing you're going to do is reverse wire glitch from a center point adjacent to it with the small floor piece, and then connect to the floor light. Then, since that piece is not level, you want to reverse wire glitch from an adjacent piece at a center point and pull to that first wire that you just had. You can now delete the first wire you created, and now you have a perfectly level and perfectly straight wire that is at the orientation that you had that floor light. For this one, it is perfectly level and perfectly straight, facing away from the light. Now, moving on to this next one, we repeat the process, and you can see that the angle of the placement has changed. This time by 90 degrees, because we rotated the floor light by 90 degrees from the previous one that we did. Doing this from all 4 different orientations of the floor light will get you 4 different results, as shown here. Next, you need to learn how connecting different snap points of wires will change their orientation depending on where you come from and where you go to. Pulling from this location to this one will result in the first location changing to the orientation of the second one. This is the order that it will always work, no matter what. If I pull from the reverse one to the first one, it will reverse that one's angle instead. We can use this knowledge to our benefit by manipulating the order in which we pull wires to other wires. this instance, I want these wires here flipped 180 degrees. All we have to do is create a perfectly level, perfectly straight set of wires that is at the orientation we want, at 180 degrees different from this one. Connect the top one in a counterclockwise direction to the bottom one, and the bottom one in a counterclockwise direction to the top one. Delete your original 2 wires, and then repeat the counterclockwise orientation. The counterclockwise process will switch the wires completely. This is a great technique to use when you've decided in the middle of a build that you want wires flipped at different angles than you have already placed them. Next, I'm going to show you a little bit more in depth about the Tether Glitch and how you can use it in certain instances to manipulate any piece you want in the game to be at any angle you would like. We're just going to use a wall as an example. Grab the wall, switch to your wire, place one end of the wire somewhere at the middle of a section that you want to place it at, and then toggle back to the item. You can use this to manipulate the item at the exact angle that you want. Doesn't matter if it's red, you can hit that free place button and it will turn green for you. This is great to place items in odd locations that they are not normally supposed to be. You can do this with anything in the game, including items that's innate orientation is not vertical. Next, I'm going to show you how you can use this knowledge to change the angle of an item within its own plane without having it pile on top of things. Changing the angle of a wire is as simple as knowing the angle that you want to come from. For this, it's as simple as placing a wall, then placing the wall cap and reverse wire glitching from that point to the center point. Delete the original wire and now you have a snap point at a 45-degree angle from where you started at. Now if you accidentally delete the wire or don't want that angle, you can simply reverse wire glitch again and get that angle again and place the other one within it. You can do this as many times as you want from as many different angles as you want. Next, I'm going to show you how you can use some of these glitches to resize anything you want. Grab a resizable item, switch to the wire, place one end of the wire, and then switch back to the item. Make sure it's a resizable item. Then resize the item to whatever size you want, big or small, then wire glitch back to the wire and place it at the same time. This will result in a wire that is resized to whatever specification you decided. Once you have that, you can select any non-sizable item, press the Edit Build button and the Toggle Wiring button at the exact same time to switch to the reticle. Then scroll over the wire and press the Duplicate button, creating a resized wire with the item in its cache. Next, just wire glitch that item anywhere you want, either just the regular wire glitch or the Tether Glitch. You can do this with any non-sizable item in the game. Say you want a tiny little storage container. Well, all you gotta do is create a tiny wire. So again, just grab yourself any resizable item, switch to your wire, place one end of the wire, switch back to the item, and resize the item as small as it can go. Then wire glitch back to the wire, pressing the Toggle Wiring button and the Place Item button at the same time to create a tiny little wire. Then grab the item that you want to shrink down, in this case a storage container, press the Edit Build button and the Toggle Wiring button at the exact same time, scroll your reticle over the tiny wire and duplicate the wire. Then you can place the tiny little storage container wherever you would like by simply wire glitching it in place. Great thing about this is that you can then pick it up and move it wherever you want and change the orientation wherever you want. As long as you don't toggle back to the wire, it will stay that same size. Also remember, you can place the wire when placing the resized item at any angle on any surface. For the last part of this beginner's guide, I'm going to show you exactly how you can place as many items as you want into the same location, glitching many different things and blending them together to look however you want. First, make yourself a perfectly level and perfectly straight wire like we learned earlier. Cover it up as you want, and then you can use that snap point to snap whatever you would like into place. Say, I want this chair, and I want this carpet to be right underneath it, perfectly underneath it. Well, because of the collision detection, you cannot do that. But if you snap both the items into the same location, you can. I like to use tables when using this technique because you can make tables that are combinations of all of them. See, we've got a round red table with a pretty little light in the middle. Well, we can make the light even cooler if we want by snapping in one of these emergency heaters. And let's say this as well. You can do anything you want with this technique blend any number of different items as long as you know the orientation, and you can even change the orientation of the wire after placing several items to rotate any other items in addition to the angle that you already have. Hope you guys learned something today. Happy building!